In this video, we are going to discuss Journey to the End of the Earth by Tishani Doshi. In this video, we shall talk about the author Tishani Doshi, the theme of this chapter, title, and a detailed summary of this chapter along with some pictures and animations. Tishani Doshi, as you can see on your screen, is an Indian author. She was born in the city formerly known as Madras in 1975. Now it is called Chennai. She has published 6 books of poetry and fiction. Her essays, poems, and short stories have been widely anthologized. In 2012, she represented India at a historic gathering of the world poets for poetry, Parnassus, at the South Bank Centre, London. She is also the recipient of an Eric Gregory Award for Poetry, winner of All India Poetry Competition, and her first book, Countries of the Body, won the prestigious Forward Prize for Best First Collection in 2006. Girls Are Coming Out of the Woods was shortlisted for the Ted Hughes Award and Firecracker Award. Tishani's debut novel, The Pleasure Seekers, was shortlisted for the Hindu Literary Prize and longlisted for the Orange Prize and the International Impact Dublin Literary Award. You can avail a copy of this novel, The Pleasure Seekers, from any online portals, e-commerce portals like Flipkart. Small Days and Nights, her second novel, has been shortlisted for the Tata Best Fiction Award 2019. She is currently visiting professor of practice, literature and creative writing at New York University, Abu Dhabi. You can click this link to learn more about Tishani Doshi. Now we come to the theme of this chapter. In this travelogue, dear students, it's a travelogue, Journey to the End of the Earth. Tishani Doshi describes the journey to the coldest, driest and windiest continent in the world, Antarctica. She makes this journey under the program Students on Ice, which was sponsored by Geoff Green in the Russian ship Akademik Shokalsky. You can click the link to learn more about this Russian ship named Akademik Shokalsky. Let's talk about the title of this piece. Antarctica is called the end of the earth. The author Tishani Doshi goes on a journey to Antarctica under the program Students on Ice by Geoff Green in the Russian ship Akademik Shokalsky. Journey to the End of the Earth is a travelogue. Naturally, it is all about Tishani Doshi's journey to Antarctica. She talks about the past, present and future of this windy and cold continent. So we can say that the title of this piece is very appropriate. Now we'll have a detailed summary of this chapter, Journey to the End of the Earth. The writer Tishani Doshi visited Antarctica, the coldest, driest and the windiest continent in the world. On board the Russian research vessel, vessel means ship. The name of the ship was Akademik Shokalsky. The journey, beginning at Chennai, passed through many areas, geographical, legal, ecological and temporal. The writer's first reaction to the continent was of relief. She had traveled for 100 hours. So naturally her first reaction was a huge relief from that tiresome journey. This emotion was followed by wonder, surprise, amazement at its vastness, seclusion, and geological history. Antarctica, as we know, is very vast. It is isolated from the rest of the world, and here is trapped geological history of the world. You can see in the picture Antarctica. The journey of the author started 13.09 degree north of equator, which is actually, you can see here, it is Chennai. At that time it was called Madras. You can see the ship also, Akademik Shokalsky. It was a Russian research vessel. Vessel means ship. The author traveled over 100 hours by a combination of 3 modes of transport: car, an airplane, and a ship. The author was impressed by the Antarctica's expansive white landscape and uninterrupted blue horizon. You can see in the picture, as far as you can see, there is stretch of snow, white landscape, and you can see the uninterrupted blue horizon. The author also talks about the history of Antarctica. Before human evolution, Antarctica was part of a huge tropical landmass called the Gondwana land. It was also called the supercontinent, which flourished 500 million years ago. Biological, geological, and geographical changes occurred, and Antarctica was separated and moved away, evolving into what it is today, a separate continent, the white continent. You can understand this through this picture. Gondwana land or supercontinent, Arabia, Africa, South America, India, Australia, and Antarctica. They were all part of the same landmass. Then you can understand the separation of continents through this picture. You can see India drifting northwards, Australia drifting eastward, then Africa going towards northwest, and South America going towards North America. This was followed by the extinction of dinosaurs. You can see another picture which will help you to understand the separation of Gondwana land into different countries. Then the author talks about what we can learn from Antarctica. A visit to Antarctica gave the writer a deeper understanding of fold mountains, the Earth's history, ecology, and environment. The writer felt unsettled in 2 weeks' time, not only because she came from a much hotter place, Chennai, but also because all features of human civilization were absent from an already desolate landscape. There was no crowd of people, there were no homes, shops, advertisement boards in Antarctica. The long summers, the silence broken occasionally by the cracking ice sheets and avalanches, the blue whales and icebergs, all contribute to an ecological implication that the future for humans is not safe. At Antarctica, you can see the effect of global warming and climate change. Avalanches are coming down, ice sheets are breaking, splitting. These indications are not good for the future of human beings. So what we can learn from Antarctica? We can learn to respect our environment. We can learn how we should try to save our planet, the Earth. Through pictures you can understand certain terms. One of them is Cordilleran Folds. Cordilleran folds are formed by system or group of parallel mountain ranges together with the intervening plateaus and other features. Then the author also talks about Precambrian granite shields. These are the granite sheets which were formed approximately 4.5 billion years ago until the start of the Cambrian approximately 550 million years ago. Formation of Himalayas can also be understood. You can see India pushing northwards, jamming against Asia to form Himalayas. Drifting of South America. South America drifted off to join North America, opening up the Drake Passage to create circumpolar current. Now we'll understand what is Drake Passage and circumpolar current. Drake Passage, you can see the Drake Passage is the body of water between the southern tip of South America at Cape Horn, Chile, and the South Shetland Islands of Antarctica. This passage was opened when the Great Continental Break took place. What is circumpolar current? The Antarctic Circumpolar Current, in short called ACC, is an ocean current that flows clockwise from west to east around Antarctica. This also was created when the Great Continental Explosion took place. In Antarctica, you can see many avalanches. An avalanche, you know, is a sudden drastic flow of snow down a slope occurring when either natural triggers such as loading from new snow or rain, or artificial triggers such as snowmobilers, explosives, or backcountry skiers overload the snowpack. Then you can understand the calving. Calving is the sudden release and breaking away of a mass of ice from a glacier, iceberg, ice front, ice shelf, or a crevasse. And we all understand that this happens mainly due to global warming. The author talks about human impact on Antarctica. Humans, who are known to have existed for a mere 12,000 years, have caused tremendous impact and played havoc with nature. Population explosion, putting a strain on available resources, carbon emissions, fossil fuels, and global warming have all resulted in climatic and ecological imbalances that have also affected Antarctica. Antarctica, though unpopulated, has been affected, and there are concerns for its 500,000-year-old carbon records trapped under its ice sheets. Though there are no human beings on Antarctica, but the ecology of Antarctica has been greatly influenced by the evil habits of human beings. Then the author talks about a program named Students on Ice. The Students on Ice program, an initiative of Canadian adventurer, educator Geoff Green, takes students on expeditions to Antarctica. The purpose of this is to create awareness in them because they are the future policy makers. The stark proof of global warming and environmental threats helps students attain an understanding of ecosystems and biodiversity of our planet. You can see a group photo of some of the people who went on this Students on Ice program to Antarctica. You can see some students there in the corner. The author also talks about the importance of phytoplankton. Now, dear students, what is phytoplankton? Phytoplanktons are those grasses of the sea that nourish and sustain the entire southern ocean's food chain. These are single-celled plants and use the sun's energy to assimilate carbon and synthesize organic compounds in that wondrous and most important of processes called photosynthesis. You have already learnt about it in junior classes. Scientists warn that a further depletion in the ozone layer will affect the activities of phytoplankton, which in turn will affect the lives of all the marine animals and birds of the region, and it will also influence the global carbon cycle adversely. You can see in this picture phytoplanktons. They are tiny free floating plants. They are the beginning of any food chain in Antarctica. Without them, no species can survive in Antarctica. So they are supremely important, but their own existence is in danger because of the hole in ozone layer. Before their return, the writer got an opportunity to walk on the ocean at 65.55 degrees south, which made her realize that she was walking on 180 meters of ocean water, a rich kaleidoscope of life. Reaching home, she wondered whether Antarctica would ever be warm again, how much difference a million years can make, and that each day makes a difference. The climate change has occurred in million years, but every day makes a difference. Every day we can make some positive change. We can do something to save our planet. In the end, you can see the majestic picture of the Russian vessel, the academic Sokolsky, on which the author Tishani Doshi went to Antarctica. In the next video, we'll talk about explanation of this chapter line for line.